All right, on to volume of cones. This is 11-8, but we're on the back side now. Cones, very similar to what we were doing, 1/3 pi r squared h. The reason it's very similar, this pi r squared is big B. It's the area of your base because, a cone has a circle for a base. Area of a circle is pi r squared. It's all there. So the pieces of information you need, radius and height. Number 7, you're given both. Oops, there we go. You're given your radius is 9, and you're given the height is 17. It's got an arrow showing you it is the base of the cylinder to the tip with a 90. All you do is plug that information in. 1/3 times pi times 9 squared times 17, and you get 1,441.99 yards cubed. If you wanted to round that up, feel free to. Number 8, we can kind of skim through. Don't really need to do it. It's very similar to 7, but except that you're given a diameter. And remember, if you want to go diameter to radius, you divide by 2. So our radius in this case is 2.5. That's the piece of information you need. 8 is your height because it goes base to tip with a 90. Plug it in, there's your answer. Number 9, however, 9, you need radius. Radius is pretty simple to find. You're given the diameter. Divide that by 2. That gives you a radius of 13.5. What you are missing is your height. You're given your slant height. Well, do you see the right triangle right here? You should by now. So you're going to view that. Let's go over here real quick. Number 9. Again, you're taking a slice, only this time it's not out of a pyramid, it's out of a cone. So this is 13.5. This is your height. This is that slant of 22.5. And you're going to run Pythagorean theorem, which is 13.5 squared plus x squared equals 22.5 squared, and you get a height of 18 units. So go ahead and plug that information in. You get 3,435.33 cubic kilometers. Number 10 is one of those working backwards formulas. A cone has a volume of 1,309 centimeters cubed. If the height of the cone is 8 centimeters, find the radius. You plug in what you know. You plug in the volume, and you plug in the height, and from there you work backwards. So the first thing you want to get rid of is this 1/3. Well, how do you get rid of a fraction? You multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 1/3 is 3. So when you multiply by 3 on both sides, these cancel, and you get that 3,927 equals pi r squared 8. What operation is going on between the pi, the r squared, and the 8? It's multiplication. What's the opposite of multiplying? Dividing. So instead of divide, you can divide separately if you want. You can go through and divide by 8 and then divide by pi, or you can go in one fell swoop and divide by 8 pi. If you divide by 8 pi, you need to be careful. We've talked about this. You have to do 927 divided by parentheses 8 pi. Have to do it that way. You have to use those parentheses. And you get that r squared equals 156.25. Well, the opposite of squaring something is square rooting. So square root both sides, and you get a radius of 12.5. Just practice with those working backwards kind of problems. Number 11, Caitlin must build a sandcastle in the form of a square pyramid for a project. She bought 3 bags of sand, each containing 1,200 cubic inches of sand. Will she have enough sand to build the castle? So first things first, volume is how much it'll fit, how much will fit inside your figure. So you need to find out the volume of the pyramid given to you. Well, good Lord. Your volume formula is 1/3 area of your base times your height. Our base shape in this case is a square. You've got 4 90s and both sides are congruent. So the area of the base is side squared. 25 squared is 625. And then the height of your pyramid, base to tip with a 90, your height is 18. So your volume is 3,750 cubic inches. Did she buy enough sand? Well, if she bought 3 bags of sand that have 1,200 cubic inches, 3 times that gives you 3,600. you did not buy enough sand. So you're right, not enough sand. Move on. And number 12, the cylinder to the left contains 2 congruent hollow cones, which if you can see, you're talking about this cone up here. That's really hard to see, isn't it? And this cone down here. If the cylinder's height is 20 inches, so, oops, here to here is 20 inches, and its diameter is 14. Do we ever need diameter? No, we do not. So we're going to go ahead and simplify that to a radius, and that radius is going to be 7. If you want to go ahead and label this as 14, be my guest, but it's kind of unnecessary. Find the volume of the solid. Well, you've got to take the volume of the cylinder. Your volume of a cylinder is pi r squared h. So you're going to do, let's start here. Volume of the cylinder minus the volume of the 2 hollow cones. So your cylinder, pi r squared h, our r was 7. We already isolated that. The height was 20. Plug that in. So the cylinder has a volume of 3,078.76 cubic inches. We have to take out those 2 cones. Now, you're talking about cones that are cut off right here. So the height of each cone is going to be 10 inches. That's necessary information. So 1/3 pi r squared h. That gives you 513.13. But you've got 2 of those hollow cones. So you just run the math. 3,078.76 minus 513.13 minus 513.13, and you get 2,052.5 inches cubed.